Georgia in Cup quarterfinal number 4. Which comes first? They flip them on their head, and it's Hong Kong, who twice have been to the final of their own qualifying tournament at the Sokompo Stadium in Hong Kong. They also finished second at this event in 2020. Up against the physical Georgians, look for Kato Lee and Russell Webb to pull the strings. The veteran, or veterans, McQueen and Yu Kam Shing for Hong Kong as well for Georgia. Narimanidze and Kokodze. Lomidze as well, plenty to offer. On paper you think Hong Kong, but Georgia always poised to pull off an upset. Former England Sevens captain Rob Vickerman alongside. How do you see this one?
Well, this is going to be a brilliant battle. Two different styles. The Georgians typically, in how they play their game, is very confrontational, very direct, and you'll see just at the sheer size of them coming out of this tunnel, they'll try and enforce themselves in the way they know how. Hong Kong, a little bit more depth. They like to play their sevens in an expansive way. They've got some fleet of foot in the middle, some hot steppers that are going to try and curate and put their players with pace and power in the right place. And generally, if Max Denmark's playing well for Hong Kong, they're going to be in with a chance.
Your referee for this one, Kawa Ricardo from Brazil. And we're almost set to go. Hong Kong dropped their final pool game against Tonga on the final play. 12-5, they lost that. 2 wins, though, on the opening day. Sees them here to the Cup quarterfinals over Zimbabwe and Jamaica. For Georgia, well, they lost to Chile, but they bounced back against Korea and Papua New Guinea. Russell Webb gets us underway. Hong Kong in blue, up against Georgia in white. And it's been won by McQueen off the kickoff. Here's Kato Lee. He's got Webb to his right. Out of UCal Berkeley, used to play his rugby with Danny Barrett in California, the famous USA Eagle, Max Woodward.
No advantage.
Into contact. We'll go back for the original decision. Composed start from Hong Kong so far.
And that's the word I think is really important in this. Hong Kong need to have composure. They need to play the right pace at the right time. They know how to oscillate that tempo.
Scrum.
And things like this, taking the scrum, slowing it down, getting set plays the right time. They're fast, they're fit. Hong Kong are well drilled. The Georgians just have to try and spoil everything. Use that passion and power they've got to disrupt.
Well, they are the most experienced side here in the men's competition, Hong Kong. 42 events at Sevens World Series level. That's the elite level they're trying to get to for the first time as a core nation. Lee. Scrum goes forward, gives them a bit of momentum. Yu Kam Shing, 34 years of age, hit hard by Motabadze. Long pass wide out through Kane Buakat. There's the offload over the top to Alex McQueen. He's got the pace to get round the outside. And Alex McQueen will score for Hong Kong. They are up and running in the quarterfinals.
Nicely done from Hong Kong, from that scrum. They have a complete understanding of who needs to be where and what happens with their role. Taking time for this conversion. All these points really matter. 2 points to slice the posts. That's a lovely kick. But back to the scrum is where it all was. Ball over the top. Lightning McQueen finds his way round. Still a bit of legs. Still got it on the youngsters.
Yeah, 34 years young. Not bad for an old stager. He's played 30 times for the Hong Kong 15-a-side team. Been around this 7-a-side setup for over a decade. And there he is, competing for the restart again. He gets there first, but it's just fallen into Georgian hands. And what a rugby story Georgia are. A 15-a-side senior team, of course, beating Italy recently in Georgia. They'll be at the 15-a-side World Cup and the Sevens. Of course, both in Cape Town next month. Good maintenance of possession, but that line speed from Hong Kong shooting up was McCulloch for Hong Kong. They found a little bit of space on the near side here. Narimanidze, but heavy tackle In midfield, that was Kane Buakat, the Australian-born player in this Hong Kong side, and they're going to get a try. Georgia, it's Nicolas Rekviashvili who has burst through right under the post. Convert that, we're level.
Well, I don't think he realises at this point the clock is on for the restarts. You score the try underneath the post, make sure you give it to your kicker as soon as you can. Just 30 seconds on this clock. Sevens might well not be a known entity to him, but he seems pretty good at it. Tearing up, going through the middle. And that's what you can get with these Georgians setting their hand to the game. They are nailed in the game of 15s, but this was guile. Rangy, Redviashvili eating up those yards.
Yeah, 25-year-old. Most of these players double up 15s and 7s. He's yet to play for the Georgian 15-a-side team, but looks like he's got good athleticism. Only a matter of time. 7 each, 2:40 to go. Men's quarterfinals. Looking for a place in the last 4. Winner of this match plays Chile or Zimbabwe in the semis. Buakat with the carry. Webb off the deck. Woodward. Lee. Cam Shing just cuts inside. Knows his geography on a rugby field better than anyone. He makes sure they just show a bit of patience. McQueen to McCulloch. He looked like he might have stepped on the line.
Definitely like it.
Pull back.
They play on. Webb. Good keep ball from Hong Kong. Very composed team. Cam Shing. Perhaps in the old days he might have burst through that gap. Perhaps lost half a yard of pace. 34 years of age. And the penalty comes to Georgia.
There's the mark, number 2.
Well, that's where Hong Kong perhaps didn't change up the tempos that had them previously, using that experience to their benefit. It was quite lateral, but the Georgians stepping up in the middle. It's exhausting work in the middle of a sevens pitch, specifically when you're 95 kgs plus, like most of these players are. I think Hong Kong are taking the legs out and then will interject significantly with their stars on the bench about to come on. But Cam Shing getting ragdolled a bit in the middle.
Step back.
Used to always be out wide. Now he finds himself more in the middle, trying to find those gaps.
Yeah, that's good.
Didn't quite find that one.
He's played 45 times for the Hong Kong 15-a-side team as well. Most recently in 2018 against Canada in a World Cup qualifier. Good line-out win for Georgia. Set piece works to effect. They had an opportunity to shift it, but Lomidze just decided to run through Kato Lee. 6 meters out, carried on by Modibadze. Over the top. Kokodze will finish. Well-worked try from Georgia. All that physicality we come to expect. And they find the space on the flank.
Oh, it's just brutal. Brutal sevens, but brilliant because it's working for them. Soften up the underbelly down the middle and then zinging that ball out wide where the space is. Say, always going to be the game plan coming into this. Georgia will try and manhandle anyone they play against at the moment. Hong Kong are getting caught by the scruff of their neck.
Yeah, seconds almost out here in the first half, and it's Georgia who take the initiative.
That's a lovely pass there, right across the face. That missed pass means the defence has to step in. Loitering out wide, Kokodze. You only have to look across their 15s programme to see a litany of big, strong outside backs, and they're transitioning brilliantly to sevens.
Okay, final play here. We're in added seconds. Hong Kong might just tap this down. Yeah, that's gone into the dead ball area, so we won't end on a free kick. Kato Lee's just sprinting up to the halfway line.
Keep going. Yep, halfway line.
It's 10 meters. Scrum.
Okay, that's why he slowed down. They want to set the scrum here and get the set piece going.
Hey, check. Yeah.
Interesting, Georgia. They had a slow start on day one, 19-14 against the host Chile.
Is it scrum for you?
Thinking they were a bit undercooked coming in, but perhaps just timing their run through this tournament.
Yeah, I think the only question around their development in this tournament is just that fitness in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. Hong Kong know that. They've got some power on the bench to come on, but this will play into their hands. Extra time in this first half. The size of these Georgians cannot sustain this speed of sevens. Hong Kong need to keep a tempo very high.
UCamp Shing coming around the corner, then straightens the attack. Trying to catch them within the 10. Woodward now.
It's a high tackle.
High tackle on him, advantage coming Hong Kong's way.
Number
They'll
8.
slow it down again, perhaps kick to the corner here.
Yeah, I think they will, right to
High
the corner.
tackle.
It's clever play. Just proceeding down the field from an initial free kick halfway. Keep hold of the ball, play to your strengths. Constantly looking at these exhaustion levels. You can imagine just like a tank of diesel is just becoming depleted for the Georgians, and yet still they're going to have another half of rugby to go. This will be very taxing.
Yeah,
I think Hong Kong
marked.
we're looking
That's
to really
good.
benefit from this by getting over.
Almost 2 minutes into added seconds. Hong Kong at the line out, get the advantage penalty
3
again.
meters.
They might just kick this a little bit closer.
In the air.
Multitude of options. Corner for the kick. We've seen them like that. They could go for the scrum if they so wish.
Looks like they're going to go for the set tap play.
Right,
McCulloch's coming over the near side. Webb gets them going. Angle run. They're going to switch the play back to McQueen. Cato Lee. Almost there, Lee. Held up short. Good defence, Georgia. Flags out from the assistant. Is there a high tackle in there? Woodward hits and spins. Does Max Woodward.
Move back.
Lee. Webb. Buako. Over to UCamp Shing.
No.
Advantage is done now. Need to do something with it. There's Webb again. Cato Lee. Playing patient rugby sevens here. Inside ball from McQueen and back to McQueen from Lee. One more pop pass to Webb. Oh, it was classy in the end. It needed to be. And Hong Kong have leveled this one up.
That was brilliant. Perhaps a question asked if the assistant referee was suggesting it could have been a penalty try if the try indeed was going to be scored in that corner, but then a procession of accurate passing, wide play, and then finished quite superbly with the offloading game. The 1-2s and 7s underused, space right next to where you carry it. Converted as well. This is a brilliant finish. McQueen, the old 1-2, black ball, and then offload one-handed. That is brilliant from Hong Kong.
Yeah, professional performance at the back end of that first half from Hong Kong under huge pressure. Russell Webb finishes off the interplay with McQueen and Lee. And they are in the lead with a conversion, Hong Kong. 14-12, they lead Georgia at the break. Into the Georgian huddle, head coach Bezic. Kanosha Ridza doing the talking. There he is in the bandana. His players attentive to his every word. Cracking quarterfinal we're seeing here, Rob Vickerman. Here are the highlights of the first half.
Well, almost 10 minutes of that half. That might be to some regret for the Georgians, the final few minutes of this second half, but really was a case of the Georgians doing exactly this, manhandling Hong Kong, and then when the tides return, UCamp Shing probing through the middle. The interplay and experience of Hong Kong proving very valuable. Lovely offloads coming through, bit of emotion, and I expect to see the shots continue to be fired in this second half.
We're underway in the second half.
It's backwards.
Turning all the way over there was McQueen. Weren't able to take the kick off Hong Kong, so it'll be Georgia with early possession here. They trail by 2, and they've got an opportunity straight off the bat here. Here's Kakodze. Kakodze gets away from the defender. On the chase is Webb, but he won't get there. Timuras Kakodze. What a finish. Georgia take the lead.
Well, what an athlete. As soon as he gets this ball, you're thinking he is big, strong and powerful. Committed effort to try and get him down that wide, but he's just too strong in his core, right to hit. Kakodze is carrying Georgia forward. And what a fantastic start to this second half. That rest and replenishment at half-time benefited the big Europeans.
And Babunashvili nails the extra 2.
So hard to tackle someone who has everything you need for potency and attack, the power, pace, his balance. Tough to get our arms around these quads as well. He is a big old unit.
Well, this would be an upset, no doubt about it. Hong Kong favoured team coming in, but Georgia fast-tracked Rugby Nation in all forms of the game. And look at this now, the stranglehold coming on from the big Georgians.
It is suffocating. I've played against Georgia a few times, and it is so relentless. And when they get a bit of confidence, they get even bigger. And they're already big. So anytime that ball's on the floor, they're going to be all over it.
Subs. Number 2,
Hacker dogs
blue.
when they're playing rugby.
Number 7, white.
Shahadza getting his hands on the ball there to win the steal. Changes for Hong Kong. Kane Burko coming to the sideline.
No, it's time out.
Clock's been stopped here just while these changes are sorted out on the sideline.
Yes,
sure
the time is off.
Full
Have a
complement
subs
for both
or not?
teams.
Well, tactically, it's huge for Georgia. Mention about how hard they've gone. It's gamesmanship
No,
here because
no
this is
subs.
rest.
That's right.
This is giving them chance
wait.
to recuperate, and how they use their
Time's
substitutes and make amends for their big men's running meters is so important to them.
Motabadze can't win it. Comes down to lead. A break for Hong Kong there. Webb just hoofs it high upfield of the Estadio Santa Laura, and Georgia, having been hot on attack, they're going to have to work it out.
Tackle,
Tackle
7.
again. There's just been so many of those at this tournament. Players hurt on the floor as well. Looks like an arm injury,
It's a high
perhaps.
tackle.
Well, the clock's still running though, so there won't be much concern from Georgia, and they are as tough as concrete as rugby players.
You're right, though. They're very good at slowing play down here, aren't they? Just sucking in the big ones, playing at their pace.
Yeah, which will not be quick. There's going to be a saunter to this, like probably check the ball a few times. It's when they get the old school players checking contact lenses, that type of gamesmanship coming out. It's all about trying to keep as much energy in the system as possible. Hong Kong need to flip it. Everything for them needs to be lightning quick. Ball in play, tempo high.
It's okay.
They need the score. This is in Georgia's midst, and I would not want to be there.
No.
Long time to go. Over 4 minutes in this
I'm here.
men's quarter-final. The winner will play Chile or Zimbabwe in the last 4. Long throw over the top. Couple of messy lineouts for Georgia. This one doesn't work out too bad, though. Motabadze's there to play scrum half, and Naremanidza has got an opportunity here through a half gap, offloads the ball, but straight into the hands of Russell Webb. And as we've seen before, he just reefs it downtown. So territory gain for Hong Kong, but they give it to Georgia. Georgia responding kind. This one running end over end deep into Hong Kong territory. It's like watching a game of 15s at the moment.
Well, terrible tactic from Hong Kong to kick it deep with no one chasing, but that was a brilliant kick from Georgia. So clever. The ball given away, fair enough. Finally got position, and the first thought from Webb is to boot it downtown. Conversely, 30 seconds later from that kick taking place from Georgia, is now a line out on Hong Kong's try line. They're happy being here.
Every moment pivotal now as the clock winds down. Hong Kong trail by 5. Webb again kicks. That's a plan. Players back for Georgia. Sits up nicely. And they'll try and get on the outside of Max Denmark. And they flung it straight into the hands of a Hong Kong player, but he knocks it on.
Fourth pass.
It was Kato Lee.
So the high sideline there for Georgia is a sanctuary. They could have just ran across there. McQueen has emptied his tank. Fair play. That is a big shift. 34 years old, still mixing it with these young athletes from Georgia.
Time is out.
You want to see the effort these players put in. That was just agony on the face of
Number 10
McQueen.
white subs.
You can't
He
replicate
runs to
it.
the sideline.
Yeah, this is good.
So Hugo Styles has come on for Hong Kong. Fresh legs in the scrum half position. Denmark's out there as well.
Good combination, those two. Styles has torn up many a sevens tournament socially and playing some Premiership rugby as well. University student. He's got some skills,
Sit.
but he needs to tee up the man with the wheels.
Well, here's Webb, who gives it to Sayers, who's certainly got wheels. We've seen that in this tournament already. A couple of cracking tries in their tournament opener. But he's wrestled towards the ground. But yet hands were too high again that time from Nadamanidze.
Move back.
It'll be Hong Kong who'll kick to the corner now. 2 minutes to go. 5 the difference.
5 the difference. So then you start thinking also about being within 50 metres either side of the post for the conversions. Those conversations need to be happening within this Hong Kong team, and talk about those moments they've had.
Line out good for Hong Kong. Denmark thunders it up in midfield. Styles is there, but the decision goes to Georgia. Look at them. Look what it means. They know how important that decision might be.
Sealing is a big call to be made under the sticks at this moment. Sealing essentially when you're not giving an ability for that ball to be competed for over the top. Denmark carries it, he gets tackled, and the referee is suggesting
Can you play?
that Sayers here seals it. I mean, that happens probably about 30 or 40 times a game.
No,
It's a tough call.
Really big call.
When the time is on, you can play. That's right.
You can't
Time is on.
get them thrown off by this. Hong Kong have had too many heartbreaks to get rattled by that. There's still hope they're going to get one chance in this game to try and win it. Conversely, Georgia, as we said, all of this half, they are boxing so clever.
Line out to
Time is
Georgia.
off. Number 7 white subs. 7 white.
Clock has been stopped with 59 seconds to go. A change for Georgia. Nadamanidze
2 meter, please.
is leaving the field.
Time is on.
Rekviashvili, the try scorer's out there. He wins the line out as well. So they're in control of the scoreboard and time right now. Hong Kong go for the counter right. They just lose their feet. They've got to try something here, or their tournament and their dream of core nation status is over. 50 seconds now. Georgia will have to defend the final moments. Hong Kong with the decision.
You throw the ball.
That's massive. You just leave the ball and get back. The referee right in that description. Oh my word, Georgia. You knew Hong Kong were going to get one more chance. It was going to happen. But to do so against 6 men is a completely different context.
So what's the right call here? They've gone for the scrum, it looks like. Would that be the way you would have read it?
Yeah, definitely. Take the scrum here because it brings in the 4 defenders. What Georgia have done here is not to put the scrum half at the base here. So Hong Kong are going to get free rein. The only doubt I'd say is could Georgia turn over this scrum, because they are monsters up front. No scrum half means Styles can run as where he wants.
Styles goes the short side. He's got Webb with him. And all the numbers over on the far side. 7 on 6, a power play to win it for Hong Kong. Have they got the goods when required? The offload off the floor. But the pass is spilt by Max Denmark. And you can hear the celebrations from the Georgian players. Look what it means to them. Hong Kong devastated. The pass wasn't sympathetic. And it's Georgia who are through to the semi-finals. What a performance from Georgia. Take nothing away from them. They've been excellent. They've emptied the tank. And the long, long wait for Hong Kong Sevens continues for elite status on the Sevens World Series. Well, Rob Vickerman, close run things, these knockout games.